The cross and the flame has been used and displayed in almost every way imaginable on every continent except Antarctica, as far and as wide as the United Methodists can take it. So, it only seems natural that we would talk about the United Methodist Church logo, the cross and the flame, on this episode of Chuck Knows Church. The beginning of the United Methodist Church can be traced back to April 23, 1968, when the Evangelical United Brethren Church and the Methodist Church came together at the General Conference in Dallas, Texas, both with very influential ministries around the world. With Bishop Lloyd Wick of the Methodist Church and Bishop Reuben Mueller representing the Evangelical United Brethren Church, these words were spoken. Lord of the Church, we are united in thee, in thy church, and now in the United Methodist Church. And with that, a new denomination was born, to boldly go where no denomination had gone before. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek lately. The next part of doing business, the development of an insignia or logo. Now, creation of the United Methodist insignia began in 1968. Star Trek was in its third year. The Division of Interpretation of the former Program Council was directed to get to work by the Uniting Conference. We need an official insignia. Now, the division's art director, Edward McCullough, along with Edwin Maynard, the editorial director, were given the task of creating the logo. Now, both were determined to convey an expression of warmth, such as the warmth experienced by John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist Church, when his heart was strangely warm that night on Aldersgate Street. What resulted was about 24 ideas, which led to a traditional symbol being linked with a single but dual flame, the cross and the flame, relating the United Methodist Church to God by way of the second and third persons of the Trinity, Jesus Christ, the cross, and the Holy Spirit, the flame. Now, the flame has two other meanings or connotations. It brings to mind Pentecost, when witnesses saw tongues as of fire. Again, I think there was another Star Trek episode about that, like the fire tongue episode, right? And the duality of the flame was meant to represent the uniting in 1968 of two denominations, the Methodist Church and the Evangelical United Brethren Church. Or how did I have it like this, whatever, you get the picture. At the special session of the General Conference in 1970, Bishop J. Gordon Howard would say in the Episcopal address, quote, "The cross and flame must cease being decorative and become incarnate. They must take hold of us until we become sources of the life which is reconciled both with God and with man." If you'd like to learn more, be sure to ask your pastor. And don't forget to tell them Chuck sent you.